Several theories about the end of the world in 2012 circulated in connection with the end of the Mayan calendar. Nibiru, a fictitious planet that some predicted would collide with Earth at the end of the year, was a popular contender. No scientific proof has ever been found for this purported planet, and, of course, our globe survived 2012 without being hit by a giant meteor or planet. Regardless, there could be a large undiscovered world lying in the cold, dark depths of the outer solar system. According to research, Planet 9 could be another huge planet in our solar system. What is the nature of Planet 9? Is it real? And if so, when was it discovered? Join us as we explore everything there is to know about Planet 9, the enigmatic ninth planet. Our view of the solar system has altered dramatically in recent years. From our central sun to Pluto, we grew up knowing exactly what the solar system looked like. We were certain there were 9 planets in the solar system. However, in August 2006, astronomers agreed to declassify Pluto, our solar system's smallest and farthest planet, declaring that it should no longer be called a planet. Pluto was designated as a dwarf planet. These dwarf planets aren't massive enough to control their orbits, and unlike planets, they don't eliminate surplus material from their orbital path. When the number of planets in the solar system was reduced from 9 to 8, many individuals were forced to rethink their ideas about the solar system. To make matters worse, scientists announced in early 2016 that the Sun might be orbited by a gigantic 9th planet that has never been observed before. For those of us who are still mourning the loss of Pluto, Planet 9 has been a bit of a challenge to grasp. The potential world was called Planet 9 because it would replace Pluto as the solar system's 9th planet, if identified. However, some scientists and the general public continue to refer to Pluto as the 9th planet and instead refer to the new one as Planet X, Planet Next, or Giant Planet 5. This can be misleading because the term Planet X was also applied to a world originally thought to be the cause of anomalies in the orbits of Uranus and Neptune. In any case, Planet 9, or Planet X as it's often known, may exist and is not on its way to destroying Earth, so it's not the same as the fabled Nibiru. The majority of our planets were discovered by looking at the sunlight reflected off them at optical wavelengths in the past. The sunlight we'd need to see to find such planets would have to travel from the sun to the item in question, reflect off it, and then return to the observer. Until the late 18th century, our solar system was supposed to have only 6 planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth obviously, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, all of which could be seen with even the simplest telescopes or even the naked eye in ideal conditions. Sir William Herschel, a renowned astronomer, didn't discover the existence of an icy blue planet orbiting the Sun from a distance roughly 18 times greater than that of Earth until 1781. It was originally thought to be a star, then a comet. It is around 1.8 billion miles, that's 2.9 billion kilometers, away from the Sun on average, but they are just about 1.6 billion miles apart during their closest approach, that's 2.6 billion kilometers. On the other hand, they could be 1.98 billion miles away, that's 3.2 billion kilometers. To complete one orbit around the Sun, Uranus takes 84 years. He is also credited with cataloguing an extra 800 double stars and 2,500 nebulas, which is an interesting side note. He was also the first astronomer to correctly describe the spiral structure of our Milky Way galaxy, according to Wikipedia. Sir Herschel nearly discovered Neptune, which has a fascinating history that will lead us farther down the Planet X rabbit hole. Still, for openers, it was discovered by a trio of scientists on September the 23rd to 24th, 1846. A moon orbiting Neptune was identified rather quickly, but it took more than a century to uncover a second one. The scientific discoveries collected during Voyager 2's flyby in 1989 substantially increased our understanding of distant Neptune including the finding of 5 new moons and confirmation of dark rings around the planet. However, something was missing from the equation. Even after Neptune's discovery, the peculiar orbits of several Kuiper Belt dwarf planets and other small ice objects remain a mystery. These have a propensity to follow orbits that congregate in large groups. Some scientists have speculated that a massive, yet-to-be-discovered planet may be lurking far beyond Pluto based on the orbits. To begin, it's important to note that, according to NASA, Planet 9 currently exists only in principle, so don't start redrawing solar system maps just yet. However, some of the brightest minds in astronomy, the same ones who demoted Pluto, have proposed that a massive planet, most likely an ice giant, exists somewhere in the far reaches of our solar system, more than 20 times further away from the Sun than Neptune, which is currently the farthest planet, at about 2.8 billion miles from our favourite star. Planet 9 would be found in the Kuiper Belt, a disc-shaped region beyond Neptune's orbit packed with hundreds of thousands of frozen objects at a distance of more than 50 billion miles from the Sun. In that farthest region of space, astronomers have discovered unexplained clumping behaviour of certain ice dwarf planets, trans-Neptunian objects. Observing unexpected actions of celestial bodies and then investigating the cause is how many astronomical discoveries are discovered. Neptune was discovered in a similar fashion after its gravitational impact on Uranus was detected but unaccounted for. According to current estimates, Planet 9 may be 10 times as large as Earth and revolve 600 times farther from the Sun than our own planet does on average. The search for Planet 9 is currently underway, with powerful telescopes being used by astronomers all across the world. If such a planet exists, it would be located in the region of the Kuiper Belt that receives very little light or energy, many billions of kilometers beyond that pesky dwarf planet Pluto. Like many of the farthest planets, its orbit would be very elliptical. To what extent is this true? To complete one circle around the Sun, the planet would take between 7,400 and 18,500 years. Pluto, for example, has yet to complete one full cycle around the Sun since its discovery in 1930. One full revolution is anticipated to take 248 years. Furthermore, the subject of how Planet 9 came to remain open. According to evidence, Planet 9 formed billions of years ago alongside the other planets in our solar system. The planet formed much closer to the Sun in this scenario, at a time when the solar system was still in its infancy, and planets were just beginning to coalesce out of the surrounding gas and dust. It lingered near the big planet formation region before being scattered by Jupiter or Saturn. It then had its orbit altered by passing stars, and it only went through long enough to stir things up before disappearing once more. However, despite its size and orbital pattern, visual confirmation is still required before it can be officially designated as a known planet. Most scientists believe Planet 9 was an ice giant core blasted from a much smaller orbit during our solar system's turbulent creation. Of course, that raises the obvious question: if Planet 9 exists, why hasn't anyone seen it? Based on their tracking of Planet 9's gravitational effect through the Kuiper Belt, researchers are convinced that it exists, although finding it could take years. Scanning a 10 to 20,000 year orbit pattern can take a lot of time for a number of reasons. For starters, at its farthest point from the Sun, this hypothetical planet would have no gravitational influence on the other planets, making its movements more difficult to detect. As a result, only approximately half of the orbit falls inside the searchable zone, making the search a guessing game, and one that takes a long time. As a result of its tremendous distance from the Sun and the fact that it does not produce any light of its own, it is extremely difficult to detect. However, there is a reason for optimism in the search for Planet 9. There's no way to see Planet 9 from where it's thought to be located because it's too far away. However, this year the Vera C. Rubin Observatory, VRO, in Chile, which went online in 2021, will begin a 10-year survey of the skies. Thousands more Kuiper Belt objects are likely to be discovered as a result of this. Close investigation of their orbits may be able to confirm or reject Planet 9's existence, as well as reveal information about its origin and location. And what happens if it doesn't? When the 3.2 gigapixel camera on the Large Synoptic Survey Telescope in Chile's highlands is finished in 2023, it will be the largest digital camera ever built and be able to quickly take comprehensive photographs of the night sky. If Planet 9 isn't discovered before then, that amazing new telescope may be able to provide us with some answers. It has the potential to shed light not only on Planet 9, but also on 5 or 6 other predicted distant objects of a similar nature, some with even longer orbits than Planet 9, our most recent astronomical puzzle. Thanks for watching another episode of Voyager. While you're still here, make sure to click the video on your screen for more mind-blowing videos about space.